You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in. You know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. By the time you see this, it may or may not be 2025. You are now listening to the All Drift Up Podcast, episode 112. My camera went in and out of hook. Let me turn this down. I'm looking high as a kite, light as a feather. Sal is in the building. What up, Sal? Wait a minute. We get beyond ourselves. I know I'm trying to abstain from rolling because I know his eyeballs are glued to the screen right now because the Atlanta Falcons are actually in what used to be called Raljohn, Maryland for a long time. Now it's just Landover, Maryland at Northwest Stadium playing the Washington Commanders. Shout out to my partner in crime, my ace Boone Coon, the man, the myth, the legend, founder of the Climbback series, which is killing it on YouTube. Go check it out. Have streams. What up, Have? How you like that intro, my guy?
Man, what did I do to deserve so much love tonight, K Dizzle? I love the
Good
intro,
look, man.
Missed you, big bro. Missed you.
You are in the battle of for your life right now. The
Came
Washington
out,
Commanders.
Commanders came out swinging, man, with the pick. They came down, scored a touchdown off the break. Sal, I'm texting the group. You know, much love to the Enough Said podcast, man. Shout out to those guys. I'm texting the guys like, man, the Commanders came out ASAP on top of things tonight. They find themselves tied up 7-7 in the second quarter. We'll be all right, though. You see how I'm repping tonight. Got the Jaden Daniels on, got the crucial catch. You know, got a Jay burning for the cause, but it's gonna be a great night, man. The last All Dressed Up podcast episode of 2024.
Of the 2024. Let me do this. Let's do this now, right? For the NFL wrap up for 2024. The pretty much playoffs are almost set, with the exception of this game tonight and a couple more tomorrow. A couple more next week. But what has this NFL season looked like to you, my man, Hef? Because I know you guys have gone over and above what you think you guys probably would have accomplished so far with the young group. What you got? What you
know, it's one of those seasons to where there's a lot of parity. A lot of teams came out and overachieved, in my opinion. You know, from top to bottom. Some teams took some big, downfalls. So I was surprised that the Cowboys were this bad, but it didn't help that Dak was injured. But I'll still take a season like that from them. But I didn't expect to see certain teams be as good as they are, like the Vikings. Who'd have thought they'd be this good? My girl was banking on Sam Darnold being a fraud, but he done found a resurgence out there in Minnesota.
You had one job today, Green Bay, and you failed miserably.
The Eagles are still phenomenal. We bust that ass last week, though. That's a typical divisional game. And you got other teams out there that fell apart, like San Fran. So, in my opinion, man, I just think this is the type of season to where if Chiefs don't win it, it's going to be a surprising team. It's going to be a shocker.
You think it's going to be a shocker?
Absolutely.
Who is the best? Who's the best team to challenge the Chiefs in the Super Bowl from the NFC?
I say Philly.
Okay. Who's the best team to challenge the Chiefs in the AFC?
I gotta say, even though he's done a terrible job in the past, I gotta roll the dice and say Lamar and the Ravens.
Wow. So you leave.
I'm really liking it. I'm not a believer in the Bills. I put money on the Bills this year. I've lost it. Maybe it was the wrong time. They've had their great games. Josh Allen's obviously an MVP candidate. He's not outplaying Lamar Jackson. I don't think the Bills are a better team all the way around right now compared to the Ravens. I know that Dre likes the Bills. Shanae saying the Lions. She was screaming the Seahawks until they fell apart. But I'm not going to take a shot. But everybody believes in Buffalo. I'm going to go out there and say I think Buffalo is a fraud. They're really good. They're not a pretender, but they're not a Super Bowl champ.
Wow.
So outside of Kansas City in the AFC, I got to take the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could be a sleeper team outside of the NFC. I really do. I don't think Detroit's a stamp. They got everything as far as momentum. They look great. But again, any given Sunday in the NFL playoff, man, I just don't believe in them.
Mm. Mm. I don't know about Shanae said she still got her money on the Chiefs. Andy Reid is the man. He's the man, the myth and legend.
He
He
is the
makes
man.
he makes he's a kingmaker out there. I will give him that. He's been doing phenomenal things out there with the Chiefs since he's been there. I still got love for him. He did 14 years in Philly and brought us up to some decent prestige, took us to a Super Bowl once and plenty of playoffs. So look, I think the NFL is exactly what we thought it was. It is I think the greatest sport in America, in American sports today.
Did you see how they smacked up the NBA ratings on Christmas Day?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, it just happened. So look, let's talk about this, okay? And maybe I need to put this in here. Hold on, let me change this. Let's hide this. We do need to talk about this, okay? And
Jaden wants to make it a competition.
now he wants to make it a real game. Let's talk about this, okay? Because if you were living under a rock, okay, and you were not together on Christmas, we had Christmas dinner, and the only thing that the women in my family and Christmas dinner cared about was the Beyonce Bowl. Okay. It was like, when is this game going to halftime? How long it is? Why don't they just let the clock run? Who cares? What are timeouts for? What is this game? Where's the Beyonce Bowl? Okay. Did you get it? Did you see it?
Of course.
Okay. If you saw it, I saw it. It was 13 minutes of a masterpiece. This was literally a Super Bowl performance.
I knew you were going to say that.
Super Bowl performance unlike no other. And it wasn't even the Super Bowl, Slim. It wasn't even a Super Bowl. Beyonce took over Christmas, took over the game, and took over the holidays. I don't even know what Kendrick Lamar is going to do at this point.
I just said it was a good performance because it's Beyonce. Like, she crushes every performance that she ever does. I just wish it was like the Beyonce, like the music that I like. But I'm just being selfish. But it fit where she was. Obviously, the whole country Houston theme. I'm not mad at it, But I know a lot of her fans would have preferred to see maybe a little bit of a medley from her. But she still crushed the performance though.
So look, I think she did it about this.
She is going to,
of course, hate it or love it. She's going to give a phenomenal performance. But she took this, and with her last album, which was a country album that got snubbed by the American Country Music Awards, right? And the Country Music Awards, whatever it is. Same way did Shabuzi, right? She took this opportunity to do in Texas the biggest country performance I've seen in a long time. Okay. Yeah. And she killed it.
And she didn't do it. And she didn't do it with a whole bunch of country artists either.
No, she did do it with a whole bunch of country artists. She did it with a whole bunch of black country artists.
I didn't know. I'm like, when you usually see a country performance, though, you usually see like 10 or 15 or like all of them on stage. Like, she did that with just like a handful of people.
They were like 6. Yeah. There was Shabuzi, and then you had all the ladies that were lined up with her in the hallway when she was walking out. They were all country artists that all did a song with her. She had Post Malone out there.
She did.
I cannot think of one thing that she did not have in this performance. Okay. She had a live marching band. She had lowriders. She had albino Clydesdales, my guy. I don't even know where you make albino Clydesdales.
That's funny.
Beyonce had albino Clydesdales.
Did you make that shit up, or is that really a thing?
I don't know. Look, I just know it was white Clydesdales. She had Mexican
Caucasian Clydesdales.
Caucasian Clydesdales. She had Mexicans standing on horses. Either they're Mexicans or Native Americans. I apologize in advance.
I must have been fried because I ain't seen no Mexicans standing on horses.
She had, you had lights. You had dancers. She had her daughter up there.
Yes.
She was like 4 marching bands. It was like 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, choreography. It was a Christmas experience that we can all sit back and say we were there, and we saw it on Netflix. By the way, Netflix is taking over. Okay, Netflix got wrestling next week, and they got wrestling, they got football, they got boxing, they got everything. The only thing they need to do is do like Amazon Prime and make me pay one price and have all that stuff up in there.
And they made sure they upped their Wi-Fi for the
And
whole
yeah, because
performance because they wasn't playing that buffer shit with Beyonce.
hell no, because they was looking hella sus when
They
when
was
they had when they had the Tyson fight. It was looking hella sus. Everybody in the universe was like, they trash right now.
Nah, that's because they save money.
Blue Ivy, everything you can think of. Look, I'm not just hyping this up, and I'm not just making this what it is. And yeah, Shanae,
Smart.
now you can watch it by itself on Netflix. Now they're gonna get streaming money on it.
Netflix will mess around and add a shorts version to their channel. You're gonna have Netflix shorts. So
It's crazy. So it's just crazy what they did with that. The Beyonce Bowl, I think it cannot be duplicated. It won't be replicated because nobody can do it like her. And secondly, yes, Netflix is the Amazon of entertainment. The small little company that had boxes outside of your freaking 7-Eleven that you can get DVDs and steal them.
You know how I feel about
you used to.
You want to get me started about Netflix right now?
It
still got trash. Don't get me started about Netflix. All this number one movie right now type shit. Let me talk about that.
Oh
I watched Carry On. I should have done just that and carry my that shit was terrible. Jason Bateman is great, but he was terrible as a villain in that movie.
Let me say this. There are some movies on Netflix that I will watch and some I won't. I'm like sus, real sus with it.
How do you feel about the movies where the mouths don't match the words?
What are you talking? Are you talking about foreign films?
Are
you talking about sub version? You talking about Japanese or sub? Are you
got a lot of those movies, man? You'll fall for them, like you don't really be paying attention, but like the trailer looks good, and all of a sudden you get to watching this shit, and they be like,
no, they can't see your mouth, they can't see your lips moving.
My girl be like, oh nah, my girl be like, nah, their mouths ain't matching the words. We can't watch that one.
No, I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of different ones, right? Listen, all right, chat. Since you are in here, okay, if you have a favorite, foreign series or movie on, it can be Netflix, it could be Amazon Prime, it could be Hulu, it could be whatever. Put it in the chat right now so that your boy can watch some good foreign movies or series.
Well, let me tell you. Me and my girl just finished that series called The Madness, and that shit ended so terrible.
You know what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, because I tried. People were saying it was good.
Let me tell you something. It started out good, and it actually had me interested because I did binge watch it. I watched it probably with her in 2 nights. That's good for me. And I stayed awake during most of it. But the shit in the end, it just went from like 100 to 0 again. It was just like, and it went off. And I was scratching my head. I couldn't believe it ended that way. That's all. I'm not going to give it away.
No, don't.
You know, I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but it's one of those series that I was disappointed with the ending.
So I couldn't watch it for one reason and one reason alone. I'm not. Please, the internets do not. No Good Deeds is a good one. Okay, No Good Deeds is a good one. The Madness was terrible.
Enough said.
I couldn't get through the first episode with the main character because of the actor himself, right?
Well, I know him from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. He's a good actor, but for this movie, it relied heavily upon his facial expressions. Like, go back and watch an episode, and I promise you, it will be like at least
his facial expressions are diabolical.
I know. So it's like if it's a 57-minute episode, 23 minutes are focused on his facial expressions. They'd be like,
they try to get that effect that was in like Get Out.
I don't know.
But he had a really good face for that movie. And
he had a good face
right here. I agree with you. It was a lot of parts.
You see what I'm saying? So it was a lot of pauses. I was like, yeah, I can't connect. So this might not be for me. Now, she gave you No Good Deeds. Okay.
So let me tell you this.
It says watch Average Joe.
Let me tell you this. So we started a different series called The Black Doves. Now, The Black Doves has Keira Knightley. The Pirates of the Caribbean. So you watched the whole series?
I watched the whole series.
Okay, so
Black Doves is good.
So yeah, we haven't finished that one yet, but we started that one. It had some questionable, scenes in there. Be careful who you watch that with. It's not for children, but it's definitely an interesting series.
Yeah, Black Devils is good. It's another good one. It's on Netflix. It's called Hellbound.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that one, but check that out. It's called Hellbound. It's good. It's got 2 seasons. When you watch the first season, you're gonna be like, "What the hell is going on? This is crazy." But it gets deeper. It goes deep. It goes good. It's a good story behind it. So shout out to Netflix and Hellbound. That's a good one.
The Commanders are hellbound the way their defense is getting right now. It's not looking good, man.
Good segue. Good segue into that. Yeah, the Commanders are having a little trouble right now. Bijan Robinson is running all over the universe with them.
What's going on, man?
I'm putting another contract on. So, we can't go without any further in this episode without really something very paramount happened today. Not only the Falcons scoring a touchdown, but the late great President Jimmy Carter passed away today. He lived to be 100 years old, the 39th president of the United States. Like enough said, Hellbound was definitely good. Look, Jimmy Carter is before all of us. Okay. Jimmy Carter is before all of us. He's a one-term Democratic president. His greatest accomplishments while he was in office was actually opening up talks with China, right? With China and South Korea, and opening up diplomatic relationships with those companies we deemed as enemies of the state, and as well as Russia. I think there were nuclear talks with Russia. So he did a phenomenal job in his short-term presidency. So shout out to Jimmy Carter, and rest well, my guy. 100 years there. Look, again, he is before any and all of us, and he only served one term. That's all that I know of him, and I knew that he was an overall good humanitarian. Jimmy Carter was everywhere, even as old as he was, but he was doing some charitable work somewhere, building houses, giving away money, or being a part of organizations in which help those who are in need the most. So living 100 years is a feat within itself. I don't even know if I want to do 100 on this planet, man, but he did it, and he did a lot of great with his time. So shout out to Jimmy Carter. He leaves a legacy unrivaled, 100 years on this planet. You got anything to add to Jimmy? Because like I said, look, you and I both like, I know he was the president a long time ago. That was way before us. He was before Reagan. And usually we know the people that were around or president during our lifespan. RIP to Jimmy. Now, look.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Jimmy, man.
Like I said, the Beyonce Bowl was, I think, the main attraction over the holidays. We've had a lot of stuff going on in 2024. This episode in itself, we're keeping it light and tight. There's a lot of things we want to go over. And let's do this here. Okay, I'm going to set it off, right? You asked me this question. I didn't get a chance to get a lot of video responses, but what are you leaving behind in 2024? Now, before we get into this, okay, we had the phenomenal guys at the Enough Said podcast. Shout out to the Enough Said podcast, man. This is our brothers from another mothers, man.
One of the best sports shows in the land, man.
Best sports shows
every Sunday morning during NFL season at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on YouTube.
Look, they sent in the video of what they are leaving behind in 2024. And let me play this for y'all really quick, man. Here we go.
Yo, what up, ADU? We're here with a little assignment that you gave us of what are we leaving behind in 2024. So we'll all take turns really quick. What am I leaving behind? I'm leaving behind the All Dressed Up podcast. That show is annoying. I'm also leaving behind LeBron, all that nonsense.
Oh my
God. Leaving behind the workaholic, man. Definitely one of the things I do is work too much. Not that I won't continue working, but I want to also enjoy life a little bit. What about you guys, Jermaine? What do you got?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I'm definitely leaving behind, because I'm definitely getting too old for this right now, is stress. So stress is being left behind in 2024. I promise you, 2025 is going to be big for me this year.
I know that's right, man. I know that's right, Jermaine.
Hey, man, I think I'm want to leave behind. I'm too hard on myself on everything I do. I always say I'm too hard on myself, and I'm beating myself up more than what I normally should do, and that's with anything I do, and I don't leave that behind and change that, man. Just take it easy and do the best you can, and don't be so hard on yourself.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I got two things. One, I'm leaving behind all the injuries for my team. You know, no, not going through this again. And then, I guess serious note, I'm gonna leave behind political frustrations, man. You know, this year has definitely been kind of trying, and you know, it definitely gets the best of me. You know, to think about all this stuff, and it's like, you know what, I just leave all that drama behind. You know, getting frustrated and everything. These clowns, they gonna do what they're gonna do, and they can't care, they don't care. It's just just like my boy Debo in his Lamborghini. He's sad he dropped the ball and he goes home in his $5,000 car. They don't really care, So why am I getting upset? These guys don't care. So look, I'm leaving all that frustration behind. You know what? I'm just gonna live life and enjoy it.
That's a great one, Mike. Because I like that too. Because I got a couple of race buddies, and one of my buddy, man, we get into politics and stuff, and it ruins our friendship, honestly. So that's like just leave it behind, man, and just like you said, man,
just enjoy life.
Enjoy life, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the 2025, everybody. From all of us here at the Enough Said crew, Happy New Year, and thank you, all dressed up for all you do, and all wishing you guys all the best for 2025 as well.
There is our guys setting the conversation off. Look, man, we love you guys. We are 110% supporters of you. We appreciate that. And Mike, bang, bang, Niner gang. And they got all banged up this year.
49ers fan, and y'all know how that went.
Look, they got all banged up this year. That's some great points, man. Political, leave out, I might want to leave out Sal, because this guy is the worst Eagles fan I've ever known in my life. Shout out to the homie Sal. But those guys, that's a great group of guys that do really good introspective work on the NFL, their picks, their conversations, their topics. These guys are spot on. They know what they're looking for. They know what they're talking about. And you don't find that a lot when you're talking about sports podcasts. Everybody can do it, but everybody's really good at it. So shout out to Enough Said Podcast. We appreciate you guys more than we can say. Half a lump. What are you leaving behind in 2024?
Man, where do I start? Right? Where do I begin? As Jaden Daniels is running down the field on these Falcons. But one thing that I'm definitely going to leave behind, and which is kind of like an opposite of a New Year's resolution, right? Is having a lack of discipline. A lot of people, including myself every day, always say what we're going to do, what we want to do. And I tend to always find myself to say, I'm going to do this, or I want to do this, as opposed to just getting a plan together and attacking it and letting the chips fall. Like, let 2025 be, set your goals, write them down, make it plain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people taught me that over time. And attack it, man. Don't do it with an inconsistency. Set it to where you can show discipline, because if you show that discipline for just long enough, just imagine what you can actually accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So I'm leaving behind that lack of discipline, man. Yeah. I'm shooting for consistency and being a great father, being a great partner, being a great businessman. Just being a great overall man in general. So that's what I'm talking about, leaving behind that lack of discipline.
And look, everybody who's listening to the podcast, we appreciate you listening to. Put in the chat what you are leaving behind in 2024. Have made some really good points. So did the Enough Said podcast. If you hear something that you might have been thinking about that somebody else said, take that to heart. Leave it behind for you too. This one's tough. What am I leaving behind in 2024? And the only thing I could always think of is, because I'm writing all these little things out, usually we do before we do every show, we do a runner, we do a show runner, and we set up what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do, because we do things a little differently. As you guys know, everything we do is live. It's 100% live. There are no takes. We talk about what we want to talk about, but we get on and we get rolling. So, which is a little bit different. All your other podcasts that you find are pre-recorded and they are edited and they are taped. And that's what you get. Shanae says, I'm leaving behind self-sabotage. I'm leaving behind the imposter syndrome of doing things that are detrimental to my own well-being and my own mental health. And that's phenomenal. When I'm thinking about this and I wrote this, the only thing I could come up with is what I am leaving behind in 2024 is 2024. And what I mean by that is this, and a lot of things that you said are valid to it. There are things that we want to get done, that we wanted to get accomplished, that I wanted to get done and accomplished personally. There are a lot of things that I did do. There are a lot of things that I didn't do. So I'm going to leave behind the things that I didn't do and look to get those things done in 2025. I'm not going to dwell upon what I did or didn't do then, because there's no reason for me to look back. The only thing I have is what's in front of me. And the only thing that matters, again, is what's in front of me. And so 2025 is going to be everything that I have that's going well. It's going to be moving forward. And I'm just going to add to the pot. I'm just going to keep cooking this gumbo that we call life and just adding to the pot and making it the best that I can. Now, Sal says he's leaving behind LeBron. I can understand that. There's a lot of LeBron stands out there that won't be with you, Sal.
But why does it have to be LeBron stan, K Dizzle? And why do you have to leave behind LeBron, Sal? Y'all are haters. So look, I'm gonna tell you. So I had some people respond on our IG, right? Shout out to my man Alex Ryan Wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said in 2024, I'm leaving behind anything that doesn't align with my higher purpose, whether it's old habits, distractions, or limiting beliefs.
Amen to that.
Shout out to my man Alex Ryan Wins, man. Really appreciate that. So what he's saying is, if it doesn't align with his higher purpose, he's out of there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's some real shit, because we always tend to like want to include everybody in our journey, and sometimes you just can't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sal says, hey, Embiid too. I'm with you, man. I'm leaving Embiid.
Nah, Joel Embiid, I left him in November. I ain't going with him. And he didn't make it. He didn't make it he only made it 11 months. And look, you know, Ryan Wins is saying something really, really important. He's saying the fact that I'm leaving. The only thing that's going to continue in my life is the things that contribute to my positive energy and the things that matter moving forward. Everything else, you know, just remove the time and space and energy for it. That's huge. That's huge. You got some other ones there?
I do.
Go ahead. Who you got?
So my man Fooley, shout out to Fooley, right?
Shout out to Fooley, one of the greatest cameramen in the world.
Videographer is what I call him.
Videographer. He's a dream specialist. So
my man Fooley, man, shout out to Fooley, says he's leaving the hoes behind in 2024.
Shout out to Fooley, man. Look, that's paramount. Leave them hoes behind. They cost too much. Cost too much time and money. Okay. I don't know if you, I don't. They ended up $40 in the world. Look, but more importantly, get them out of there. Look for something. Look for something more real, something authentic, something that can last.
Absolutely.
Dang, enough said. It's popping off there. I'm leaving behind the whole NBA. This era of basketball has gone 360.
Well, you know, the problem is everybody wants to create a Steph Curry, you know, and a Golden State Warrior type offense.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is everybody's not Steph Curry. You know, you can get a higher volume of shots up, and yes, the NBA players can make, you know, a good 40 to 45% on a good clip a night shooting threes. So they figure, hey, if I get 33 pointers up, I'm going to score more points. But unfortunately, all you get now is a drive and kick and shoot league. So you don't get to see those matchups and those performances that you used to see that made the game exciting. Like when you would catch a Patrick Ewing down on the block, or a Shaq, you know, posting up, or even Michael Jordan with his fadeaway. Like now the ball's moving, They constantly kick it up court. They drive. They kick it out for the three. If they don't have it, they swing it. They drive again, kick it back out, and they shoot the three. That's all they do.
Yeah.
So that alone can really make you, not be interested, not be interested in the NBA, man. Daniels is wearing his coat too much tonight, man. They gotta wake up. The Commanders are
it's looking a little rough book right now. Looking a little rough book. But let me pose another question. Okay. Let me pose another question.
Man, let's go, man. Let's go.
What did you lose in 2024? What did you lose? That's for the chat. Think about it. You had an entire year. What did you lose in 2024?
That's a tough question, Kato.
That's why I asked it.
What did you lose?
What did you lose in 2024?
What did I lose? I only for some reason my mind went blank. Like I can't just think about shit. I mean, I can say one thing. I lost a very dearly loved relative of mine in 2024. So that did stand out. If I really thought about loss, unfortunately we did have, a recent loss in the family, and it was unexpected. And we got together as a family, and we're still, working through it. And I would say that's definitely the toughest one that I could think of.
Okay.
For this year.
Yeah. Look, we say it a lot, right? And we experience it in different moments in our lives. But we don't grasp the reality of the importance of, still being here, still existing, and still having time to do the things that you want to accomplish in life. So,
exactly.
We pray for those who've lost people close, in the beginning, in the middle, and the end of this year. But more importantly, we pray that we continue to carry those memories and carry those lights so that they live eternally, not only just in our hearts, but in the people that we love. We continue to tell those stories.
But it's interesting. It's interesting how you say, we pray, and you go to, your spirituality about it. And I was just talking to a good friend of mine, and we were, just talking about some stuff. Me and my guy was, shit we were going through as men, just relating, throwing shit back and forth. And his brother was like, do you pray? And I said, and shout out to my man Arizona Ron. He said, existing in family is the essence of life. Very well said. So he asked me, he said, do you pray? And for a moment I sat back and I said, I do. But I don't think I pray right. And I said, and he said, what do you mean? And his wife was, we were all FaceTiming, and I was over my friend's house. We were talking as a group. And he was like, well, do you mind if we can just pray right now? I said, sure. And he was like, you're unsure of how to pray, let us pray right now. So his wife took on the prayer, and she led, and it was pretty lengthy. She probably went on for about 2 to 3 minutes, right? But it was profound to me because she said, like in the beginning, she started off with a lot of gratitude.
Right.
So as opposed to just going right into a prayer and saying, please, Lord, save me from this, or please, Lord, give me strength, or please, Lord, help me get my, rent paid. It's more like, thank you, Lord, for the opportunity for another day. Thank you, Lord, for this, holiday that we were able to spend with our family. Thank you, Lord, for the health and the wealth of my family for 2024. Thank you. She said that for about a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then she went into praying for me, and then praying for everyone else, and then praying for herself, and then summed it all up in a beautiful message. And the one thing that her husband said was he was like, you always start your prayer off with gratitude.
Amen.
And that's how you don't just automatically go into it just asking for everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that because you had said prayer. And we have one of those episodes tonight where we're kind of just free flowing. It's the last episode of 2024. You know what I'm saying? So what else, if you're just joining the chat, or Kato, you got something, are you leaving anything else? Or what did you lose in 2020?
Well, before I go, Big Money Mike said he lost 40 pounds. So that's huge. That is huge. Shout out to Big Money Mike Stewart. losing 40 pounds, man.
Excellent job.
That's an excellent job. I need to lose
You might
40,
be ready
40,
for the
40,
Pittsburgh Steelers, man.
25, 40. But look, I mean, that's a phenomenal story because gratitude is always how you do start a prayer off, because it puts in perspective the things that that we take for granted, that we're given on a daily basis: grace, mercy, opportunity, safety, coverage, protection, love, guidance. And and then you start realizing how unbelievably lucky we are to be where we are. Again, Ron, existing, I'm gonna put this up again because it's important. Existing in family is the essence of life. And it is actually, it's very hard to find any more statements that are truer than that. What did I lose in 2024? 2024 has been a crazy year for me personally. See, I got that in the mic. I got to fix that later on. 2024 has been a crazy year for me. I think this year, the biggest thing I can say I lost was the fear of the future, being afraid of things not working out. Right? You putting plans in place. Everybody's had an experience where they planned, they worked for something and it didn't come to fruition, right? I think this year I just didn't care what it looked like, where it was going, or what was transpiring. I just had no fear of whether it would fail or not. I just took on the mentality that if I keep down this path, it's going to work out. If I do the right things, it's going to work out. So that fear of the failure of a plan, I don't like what we're doing right here. Even with this podcast, how long has it been? It's been 112 episodes. It's been 2 years. I have no fear of the failure of it. I have no fear of what it's not going to be. I just know if we keep doing the right things and we keep giving a good message, keep being involved, and keep having something that people can resonate with, it's going to come together. Whether karma or the earth wants it or not, it's going to come together. And so we just stay vigilant in doing that. And that's the biggest thing. My other thing was with the, did they take it? No, they didn't. Was the I lost the the feel of failing. It's a phenomenal thing. And we have that innate with the business that we're in, right? In sales, we have no fear of going to a customer and selling and saying, hey, we're going to find a way for this customer to buy them a car, for them to buy a car today. We're going to figure out how we can make a deal today. But it's different when you apply it to other things in your life and you just take that same ambition on, and no matter what it looks like. So, the biggest thing was, where me and my family is as far as home purchase and stuff like that. And we'll talk about, I'll speak upon that more in 2025. But yeah, the fear of failure, or the fear of failing, I've lost that in 2024, and I'm going to leave that behind. So look, if you had anything else that you lost in 2024, put it in the chat. Talk about it. Write it so that it becomes plain. You understand it, and it can stay lost in 2024. Whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. 2 more questions, right? Let me give this one here. Did I leave that up there? I left that up there forever. All right, Hef. I know your commanders ain't looking too great. Let me ask this to the chat too. Chat, what did you learn about yourself in 2024? What did you learn about yourself in 2024? Now, Hef, I made you go first the last couple. I'm gonna go first on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go first on this one. What did I learn about myself in 2024? Sweet baby Jesus. All right, so let me answer this question in a very personal manner. Okay. I learned in 2024 that I am not my father. I am not who he was, and I will never be who he was, or what he was, or who he is. Um, we, as men, we have people that we look up to. We have people that we trust, and people that we use as examples in life moving forward. And for me, losing my father at an early age, and him being full of accomplishments, I've talked about him on the podcast before. He left such a wide shadow that it was hard for me. I always tried to, when I was growing as a man, try to figure out how can I be greater or have similar accomplishments in life. For a man to be gone for almost 47 years now, almost 40 years now, and I still meet people to this day that would tell me stories about him, and tears will come to their eyes. These are 60-plus-year-old people. Um, Tears will come to their eyes. Always left a huge shadow on me. Like, damn, how can I live to leave a legacy as great as that was? And in this year, with me losing the fear of failing, I kind of learned that I had to tell myself that you don't have to. That's nothing. Like I was having a conversation with him, saying you were never meant to compete with who I was or what I did. I just wanted to be an example for you. You need to learn to be your own man. You need to learn to leave your own legacy, and you need to just be you. Just be you, and to be the best you can, that you can be. Now, my father, we share the same name, but he never gave me the title of junior. And my mom told me why. It's because the same reason that I'm talking to you right now about. She said that he never wanted you to have to compare yourself to who he was and what he did. So he never gave you. He didn't want you to be a junior and you have to live up to some unrealistic expectation. And me at the age of, I'll be 44 in a couple of weeks, just now figuring that out after him being gone for about almost maybe 40 years in July, 40 years in 3 years, so 37 years. So for me, it was really personal. What did I learn about myself in 2024? It's just learning to be me, that I'm not my father. I'm my own man. And I learned to live and push my legacy on the people that I love and that I know. I know that was long, my bad. But I thought that was important for me to talk about. And yeah. So it's been a good year for me. Look, what did you learn about yourself, Heffalump, in 2024?
Man, I gotta tell you, man. First off, K Dizzle, that was very, very good. Thank you for sharing, man.
Mhm.
Because I went off and just like into my thoughts. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, a lot of people can really take what you said and relate it to their lives. So, but what did I learn about myself in 2024? Let me think. Where do I begin? Or what should I bring up tonight about what did I learn about myself? Enough said. While by time says nothing beats a failure but a try, because you never know what the life of treasure it will bring. Absolutely, you gotta try.
Very true. Very
I
true.
learned that I really, really believe that having children was the best thing that I ever did in my life. And it's really a great feeling to be a father.
Mhm.
And I really, waited a while, in my opinion, comparing to like a lot of friends and like family when I saw like younger dads growing up. But having a 7 and a 3-year-old really changed my life. And especially in 2024, as like my little one Nova, she turns 3 on Wednesday.
Mhm.
And just seeing how much she's like maturing at her age and how smart she is, it just really makes me want to more than ever be focused on setting up a great future for them.
Yeah.
And of course, like you always think about it like, oh, when you have kids, you got to always be ready and and do this and do that and like invest and save money for their future and put up for college. But it kind of like, really gave me, I really felt it in reality in 2024. If that makes sense. Especially with like this world, in my opinion, is different. Like when we were kids, K Dizzle, our parents were raising us with maybe a different mentality than like we're raising our kids now in 2024.
Right.
And that kind of gives me fear sometimes because it's like, damn, I got two girls, growing up in a whole different, time and a whole different reality that I'm not even familiar with.
Yeah.
'Cause back when we were growing up, we were outside.
Yeah, for sure.
And just all those thoughts just kind of hit me this year, but I'm excited and I'm looking forward to, like I said, just being the best man that I can be for 2025 and beyond.
Hey, having kids changes things, changes you, all for the good. For 95% of the population, let me say that. And trust me, it's not a race to have kids. You have them when you're ready. And most people have them when they're not ready. Just know that when they get here, when they get here, whether you're ready or not, you become a whole different person. So, if you learn something about yourself, make sure you put that in the chat, man. Here we go. And I've said, I learned about how to listen and to think before you speak. Also, patience.
Man,
Also
I gotta
patience.
say, AK Dizzle, that's some
Yeah.
real stuff there because I think I might have talked about it before. But my girl, she gave me an acronym a couple years ago that she had learned, and she was like, "I practice wait," and I said, "Wait," and she was like, "Yeah, I practice wait," and it's WAIT, and she said it stands for Why Am I Talking? So if you think about it, and before you start to just respond so fast, like we always tend to do, especially myself, come back. Just think, why am I talking right now? Or what am I about to mean after I say what I'm about to say? And do I really mean it? And sometimes if you you might think it's ridiculous if you stop and ask yourself that question.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, if you give yourself that 10 seconds, maybe just even 5 before you just immediately respond, it changes your whole outlook on
change your whole mindset on what you want to say, how you want to say it. That's a great acronym. WAIT. Why am I talking? Make sure you get that acronym in a tasteful way to somebody that talks too much.
Yeah, but what are you trying to get across right now? Like in your comeback and whatever vicious thing you're about to say, why are you saying it?
Why are you saying it? What's your purpose behind it? Why am I talking? 100%. All right, look. Last question of the night. Okay. What will you do different in 2025? To all those in the chat, please put it in there. What will you do different in 2025 from what you did in 2024? Okay. For me, I will try to get more sleep.
Good one.
That's crazy. I know that's crazy, but my mind runs 1,000 miles a minute. I am a night owl. I'll go to bed at 3 and wake up at 5:45 or at 6:30 and just get rolling. I need to sleep. It is better for my health. I have a great bed. It should see me more, and I need to be deliberate in getting more sleep and getting more rest so that I can live a little bit longer on this planet. That's just a really true statement that I can give. But doing different in 2025. Hef, what you got, my man?
Man, I'll tell you one thing. I'm definitely gonna make sure I have more vacation time in 2025. If I gotta sit there and schedule it now, I'm definitely gonna make sure I get at least 3 to 4 vacations with my family, and maybe one in there without them. But hey, you gotta get some free time, man. Time is the new currency, man.
Oh man,
You haven't heard.
Oh,
Stop
man.
listening to Hef and his
nonsense. There goes Sal.
Hate.
You
You gotta get his last 2024 hate in because
enough said. Sal does stunts for Little Richard and gay movies. All right. I'm going to make sure I work daily to become the best version of myself. I like that, Nene. I love that. So now you take that and you say, well, what are the things that I'm going to do daily? And we're going to work towards it. Let's put 3 things and say, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Right. I love that weight one because I'm going to post that somewhere soon. I'm going to post that somewhere soon. Why am I talking? Because I got some people that talk too much that I know all too well. They talk. Shut up and wait. Wait on the Lord. Say
you
it.
Gotta wait.
Yep. Procrastination 12, 13.
For a minute, you gotta wait.
Look, look, man, 112 episodes in the book says a lot about our resilience, but more importantly, our commitment to making sure that when we come on, we have something to talk about and something that's relatable. And if it does touch you and talk, please make sure you continue to share it, to let people know what we're doing, where we're at, so they can be a part of the conversation too. I think we were pretty selfish tonight because we never even put up the phone number. We never even put up the phone number talking about it. And sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes it's going to be like that. We're going to have conversations, and we do this for us and for you guys that come in every 2 weeks that love to hear, and we love to hear what you say. And we're going to be doing it as long as we're here, as long as we're both here. We appreciate everybody that comes in and shows us love. We appreciate everybody that shares. We appreciate everybody that comments. And what's funny is this, I went to, we had our Christmas dinner, and my aunt's husband, hey man, how's the podcast going, man? Yeah, I was catching up on some episodes, man. It's great. I never thought in a million years that he would be listening to my podcast. And I never thought in a million years. I ran into another guy in Target, man. Hey, I watch your YouTube videos, man. I see the podcast. You're doing great stuff. You guys have great. You never know who's watching. You never know who it's helping, and you never know. So it's important that if we're doing something like this, like we have the great thing we have going, we got to keep it moving. It's going to do nothing but grow and get bigger, and it's going to help people. Everybody who has a podcast shouldn't have a podcast. That don't need to be listened to. Okay. They're not giving information that's helpful. Some of it's entertaining for the moment, but a lot of it isn't helpful to you as a person, as a human. But more importantly, it's not feeding you anything that's pushing you to the next level. And if we're having basic conversations about stuff that we talk about, that to our own friends in a circle that other people need to hear, which is what we do, make sure that they have them lock in every 2 weeks with us. Okay, so they can hear it and they can be a part of the conversation. We can move it forward and pull somebody into a better position, right? And I know I'm going off. Half, take the mic from me. What you got, my man?
Man, I tell you what, man, you've been on one tonight. K Dizzle is hard to follow, man, because I'm just sitting back and everything you're saying just resonates. You're not talking about nothing. You ain't telling no lies. It's 2024. We're going into 2025. The All Dressed Up podcast has done 112 episodes, right?
Yep.
112 Sunday nights that K Dizzle and myself and you all have gotten together and have been open, have talked about different topics, different issues, different stories. We laughed. We talked about serious things. We talked about funny things. But the biggest thing is we all got together and we enjoyed ourselves, right? That's what it's all about. This is a place where you can come together and really have fun, say how you feel, have a voice, you know what I'm saying? And it's a safe space, not to make it cliche. But even with the Enough Said podcast, great sports show, very entertaining and great people, man. And I really look forward to seeing where this goes. 112 hours of non-scripted live conversation, man. It's not easy. It's not what you think. I'm not patting myself on the back, and if I'm kind of rambling, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, Kimmy, how you doing, Kimmy?
Kimmy comes in the building.
It's not easy to sit here and talk to the public and be, and expose how you feel about certain things. For sure. And really be open to everybody, because a lot of people think about these topics that we talk about and might not be, courageous enough to really speak on it. And we do it. And I think we do it with taste. I think we do it with a certain style. I really think that the All Dressed Up podcast is still just getting started. And I look forward to seeing everybody in 2025.
Oh, 25 is going to be a good year. We'll send you information, alldressedupodcast@gmail.com. Kimmy, you got to listen back. It's some good stuff. Have dropped some gems on it tonight. If you want to reach us, check out our YouTube page. We got a TikTok page. Anywhere you see ADU Podcast, I promise you that is us. Okay? If it's two white guys, to flip the channel. That ain't us. But follow Have Streams Media, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. The Climbback series is phenomenal, and I know he's got some crazy stuff moving forward. K Dizzle DC, I'm everywhere. You should be there. But again, where you can find us is alldressedupodcast@gmail.com. If you have ideas for a show, you want to come on and promote your stuff, as long as it ain't crazy, ethical, moral, and within the lines of sanity, we'll have a conversation about it. We'll bring you on. If you're crazy, we'll kick you off. We got a couple episodes like that where we kick people off. We are on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Audible, anywhere that Amazon book services, anywhere that is streaming a podcast service, look up All Dressed Up Podcast. We will be there. You can check us out. We love you. The world ends in 48 hours. And if it ends in 48 hours into 2025, just know you spent one of the greatest nights or last hours with us. And we appreciate you that more than we can say. The only thing in this life we get is time. Okay. And so we know it's an invaluable resource. It can never be replenished. And we are so appreciative of you giving us your time on a wonderful Sunday afternoon. You can be doing a lot of other things. We love you. We appreciate you. We adore you. We will see you in 2025. Send them off.
Hey, man. 2024 was a big year. Don't bring y'all stinking asses back next year the same. Be the bigger and better versions of yourself, because we definitely will be. The All Dressed Up Podcast says Happy New Year. We appreciate y'all. Love you, K Dizzle DC.
Love you too, man. Love y'all with y'all stinking ass. Holla.
You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all